Hi, I'm Chad from Chad DIY, and today's project is a Rustic TV stand. So let's get started. I'm starting off by making my cut list. I'm using all 2x4 lumber. I will cut 4 legs that are 28 inches, 3 boards that are 33 inches, and 5 boards that are roughly 11 1/4 inches. Next, I'm going to cut the 2x2s. I'll start by cutting one of the boards that is 11 1/4 inches. Then I'll cut all 3 of the 33-inch boards. I should have 8 different 2x2s when I'm done. Now, 2 tips for this project are going to be, first, the 2x2s. I always cut my own 2x2s, and the reason for this is when you go to the hardware store and you're looking for 2x2s, they're always really warped. So I just cut my own, I ripped 2x4, and I get 2 2x2s out of 1 2x4. Second tip for the project is going to be this piece. Now this piece holds the shelf. It should be 11 1/4 inches. Well, what you want to do is you want to measure your 1x12 first. This 1x12 should be exactly 11 1/4 inches. It usually is. It's usually a little smaller or a little larger. So what you want to do is make sure this piece is exactly the same length as your shelf. And don't worry about it being exactly 11 1/4. Whatever matches your shelf will be fine. Now I am going to drill the pocket holes using my Craig jig. I have the jig set up at 1.5 inches to accommodate the lumber. I'm going to drill pocket holes in 4 of the 11 1/4 inch boards, as well as all of the 33-inch 2x2s. Next, I'm going to start assembling everything. I start by clamping one of the legs to my workbench so it doesn't move when I start attaching the 2x2s. I'm just using glue and 2.5-inch Craig screws to attach everything. I have made spacing blocks to make sure everything is getting attached where it should be. The first spacing block is 3 inches and the second one is 10.5 inches. Now I'm going to start attaching the 11 1/4 inch boards. I'm just lining these up with the other 2x2s that I have already attached. Now it is time to attach both sides together. Once again, I am lining everything up with the 2x2s already attached. Okay, now I have my frame built. The next step I'm going to do is cut the shelves. The reason I didn't cut the shelves to begin with when I cut all the other pieces is that I want to match the shelves to exactly what size this is now. I started with these being 33 inches. So the shelves should be 33 inches as well, but now I'm going to measure from one end to the other to get the exact measurement and then cut my shelves to fit. I'm now going to cut the 1x12 pine boards. I usually like to cut everything along at first and then trim it up if necessary. It is always better to cut a board too long than too short. Next, I will drill the pocket holes in the two shelves. I have my Craig jig set at 3/4 inches to accommodate the board. When attaching the two shelves, I'm just trying to make sure everything is flush when I screw it in. If there is a small edge that sticks out once I'm done, I'll just sand it smooth later. I'm now going to sand everything smooth. I start off with 80 grit sandpaper, then move up to 120 grit. I finally will finish with 220 grit sandpaper. The next step is attaching the decorative cross pieces at each end. The two angles I cut are roughly 60 degrees and 30 degrees. I just use a pencil to mark for length, then I keep cutting each piece until it fits just right. A little glue and some 2-inch brad nails is all you will need to hold them in place. Now I will start making the top. I'll be cutting 3 different 2x6 boards down to 42 inches. The base of the table is 40 inches, so this will give a little bit of an overhang on the finished piece. Next, I'll drill more pocket holes so I can screw everything together. I'm not going to use any glue when attaching the top. The screws is all you'll need to hold everything in place. Now that the top is together, I will go through the same sanding procedure as I did with the base. Next, I will attach the top to the base by using 2.5-inch screws. I'm using the clamps to make sure that everything stays in place while I attach the top. Now it is time to apply the stain. This is when the piece really begins to come to life. I'm using a dark walnut color stain. I'm simply brushing it on and then wiping it off after a few minutes. After the stain dries, the last step is to add a couple coats of polyurethane. I'm just brushing it on. So here's the final project all ready to go. If you enjoyed this video, if you hit the like button, that would be great. And also, if you want to see more projects like this, please subscribe. All right, thanks. Why don't you stay there and I'll be like I'm talking to you.
In the video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. All right, so here's our finished product. We have it all done. What should I say? So here's the final project all ready to go. If you enjoyed this video, if you hit the like button, that would be great. And also if you want to see more projects like this, please subscribe. Alright, thanks. Crushed it! Hi, I'm Chad from Chad DIY, and today's project is a Rustic TV Stand. So let's get started. I'm starting off by making my cut list. I'm using all 2x4 lumber. I will cut 4 legs that are 28 inches, 3 boards that are 33 inches, and 5 boards that are roughly 11 1/4 inches. Next, I'm going to cut the 2x2s. I'll start by cutting one of the boards that is 11 1/4 inches. Then I'll cut all 3 of the 33-inch boards. I should have 8 different 2x2s when I'm done.